After releasing the AP Top 25 poll yesterday, today the AP released their preseason All-Americans for the 2020 season, including 23 players who won't even be playing this fall. The College Football Playoff Selection Committee announced their ranking dates for the upcoming 2020 college football season. What's the latest with College Game Day, and can we see the show happen this fall? And finally, North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance, who is a projected first-round pick and potentially a top 10 pick in the upcoming NFL Draft, will have one game this fall to showcase his talents. All that and more today on 4th and 10. Now let's go for it. Kicking things off, we head over to the AP preseason All-Americans list. Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons and Oregon tackle Penei Sewell are among 11 players that were selected to the AP preseason All-American first team who are not even slated to play this fall. The team was selected by 47 AP poll voters who were asked to consider all Division I players, even those who had already opted out of the season or whose teams have postponed football this fall. The results show just how much star power will be missing from this pandemic-altered college football season. 12 second-team All-Americans will also not be playing in the fall, including Justin Fields from defending Big Ten champion and preseason number 2 ranked Ohio State. As of right now, the Big Ten, Pac-12, MAC, and Mountain West conferences have decided to try to play football in the spring as opposed to the fall. In addition, this list of All-Americans includes Micah Parsons, Rondale Moore, Gregory Rousseau, and Jalen Twyman, who have all decided to opt out from this fall season. Moving on now to the preseason All-American first team. Coming into quarterback is Trevor Lawrence, the running backs Chuba Hubbard and Travis Etienne. Tackles are Penei Sewell and Alex Leatherwood. The guards are Wyatt Davis and Trey Smith. Creed Humphrey for center. Tight end Pat Freiermuth. Receivers Jamar Chase and Devontae Smith. All-purpose player Rondale Moore, and kicker Keith Duncan. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball for the first teamers, we have Kayvon Thibodeau and Gregory Rousseau. Tackles, we got Marvin Wilson and Jalen Twyman. Linebackers, Micah Parsons, Emma Rashed Jr., and Dylan Moses. Cornerbacks, Derek Stingley Jr. and Sean Wade. Safeties, we got Richard LeCount and Andre Cisco, and punter, Max Duffy. Moving on to the second team now. For quarterback, we got Justin Fields. Running backs, Najee Harris and Kenneth Gainwell. Tackles, Samuel Cosmi and Cole Van Lannen. Guards, Nolan Laufenberg and Elijah Vera Tucker. At center, we got Tyler Linderbaum. Tight end, Charlie Kohler. Receivers, we got Tylan Wallace and Rashad Bateman. All-purpose player, Jalen Waddle. Moving on to the defense now. Defensive ends, Carlos Basham and Quincy Roche. For tackles, we got Jay Tufele and Levi Onwuzurike. Linebackers, we got Chaz Surratt, Nick Bolton, and Patty Fisher. Cornerbacks, we got Patrick Surtain II and Caleb Farley. Safeties, we got Javon Holland and Trayvon Morig. And punter, we got Adam Korsak. So yeah, those are the AP first and second teamers. Personally, I'm not a fan of having guys that opted out of the season as first teamers. I get they still want to honor the guys that would have been in anyway, but if they're not playing, I think it's a wasted spot. I think they could have gone to other guys that are playing this fall or spring that are more than deserving of it. But again, that's just my opinion. Again, the 47 AP poll voters, they decided even though you're not playing, they're going to include them in the list. But again, my personal opinion is if you're not playing, you shouldn't be a preseason All-American. Those honors should go to guys that are going to be playing this fall or this spring. But it's an insane list considering that, nearly half of these guys aren't even playing in the fall. I mean, you have guys that are opting out, you have guys that are playing in the spring, even if there is a spring season. So half these AP, preseason All-Americans, we're not even going to be able to see them this fall, which is an absolute drag. The College Football Playoff Selection Committee will begin its weekly rankings for the 2020 college football season on Tuesday, November 17th, according to Executive Director Bill Hancock. The committee members will convene on Mondays and Tuesdays, just like in regular years, and will announce the rankings each week on the Top 25 show. The selection committee will meet 5 times prior to releasing its final rankings on Sunday, December 20th. The top 4 teams will still participate in the playoff semifinals on Friday, January 1st in the Rose Bowl and the All-State Sugar Bowl. The national championship game will be played Monday, January 11th at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. The committee will also announce the matchups for the Goodyear Cotton Bowl, PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, and the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl on December 20th. Now, the final rankings were originally scheduled to be released Sunday, December 6th. Earlier this month, the College Football Playoff Management Committee changed the final announcement date as a result of conferences having changed the dates of their championship games. So we have the playoff committee doing their normal rankings in the fall. I am interested to see how this is going to work for the teams that are playing in the spring. So you're still going to have the normal playoff committee rankings for the teams that are in the ACC, the SEC, and the Big 12, and maybe some potential, group of 5 schools, but Are we going to have a playoff committee in the spring when you got teams in the Big Ten, you got teams in the Pac-12 playing? Maybe the committee is going to come out in the coming weeks and announce this, but it's going to be interesting to see, are we going to have 2 national championships? As I've said this in the past, I don't necessarily think we're going to get college football in the spring, because I don't think by springtime, by, February or so, things are going to be that much better. I personally firmly believe either have all the teams play this fall, or just don't have it in general, because I think having college football in the spring is an awful idea. I think it's a stupid idea. I just don't think it's smart having 2 separate seasons, and it's also not safe for these players. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the spring, whether or not there's any sort of championship, or if it's just a Big Ten championship, just a Pac-12 championship. As of right now, it looks like we're going to have a regular playoff ranking on a week-to-week basis starting in the middle of November. It's going to be interesting to see who makes the playoff this year, what teams are in contention this year, because again, no Pac-12 teams, no Big Ten teams. What's it going to look like? But as of right now, the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, they're going on track. Everyone's favorite college football show, College Game Day. What's going to be their plan for the fall? Kirk Herbstreit did a recent interview on Nashville-based 104.5 The Zone and shared the latest on the fate of the show this fall. Here's what Kirk Herbstreit had to say. I was on a call this morning for that. Everything is just tentative, but we're really doing everything we can, or at least our bosses are, to try to give the fans the closest thing that we can get them to what you expect from game day, which means trying to put it on the road. I don't think they're going to have fans, obviously, at game day. We're going to try to have some fun with it, kind of like what you see with the NBA, some of the virtual stuff. If we're talking about Clemson, Florida State, maybe have fans from Clemson and Florida State on monitors where they're going crazy, kind of cheering on their team. Considering all the issues some colleges are currently experiencing with students gathering in large crowds, it's no surprise to hear that game day won't feature live crowds this season, unfortunately. Herbstreit also mentioned the fact that while the easy thing would be to do college game day from home, ESPN is committed to taking the show on the road for now. They're coming up with all kinds of different ideas to try to do the best that we can to get through this global pandemic, and at the same time be game day and talk about college football and try to do it in a way that our fans are accustomed to seeing, which is kind of like a tailgate leading up to their afternoon of games. So I was happy and kind of proud of that. The easy thing to do would be for me to be in my basement, Lee Corso to be in his house in Orlando, Desmond Howard in Miami, and David Pollock in Athens with Reese Davis in Connecticut. All of us kind of just sit there and do our show. We could easily do that. But going in, they're going to try to put the show out on the road and kind of see how that goes. I mean, if you're a college football fan, College Game Day is by far the best show. I mean, just if you're a sports fan in general, I think it's one of the overall best shows out there. So it's a drag that we're not going to get normal College Game Day, going to all the different locations with all the fans and all that kind of stuff. But if we can get College Game Day in some form, whether that's actually them going on the road, having a remote studio, just doing it like in a trailer, or if they're able to do it from their own homes on a week-to-week basis, I will still take that, because again, College Game Day, the best college football show out there, and if we can still get that on a week-to-week basis, I will gladly take that. Last week, North Dakota State announced that they were going to be canceling their fall football season with the hopes of playing in the spring. Now, for a lot of people, that probably isn't much of a big deal, but for North Dakota State, their quarterback Trey Lance is a potential first-round pick, potentially maybe a top 5 pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. And it looks like he's going to get one chance to showcase his talents this fall. North Dakota State recently signed a contract to play Central Arkansas on October 3rd in Fargo. It will mark the only game the 3-time defending FCS national champions will play this fall. Again, this is pretty much for one game for NFL scouts to have a chance to check out Trey Lance, North Dakota State's redshirt sophomore, who, as I mentioned, slated to be a potential top 5 pick in the upcoming NFL draft. This game allows North Dakota State to essentially have a full spring practice in the fall with 20-hour practice weeks. As mentioned, North Dakota State is still planning on playing a full spring schedule, in the spring, but this gives NFL scouts a chance to see Trey Lance one time this fall, should he opt out in the spring. It'll definitely be interesting to see Central Arkansas, that's a decent opponent for them, but it's only one game. What kind of practice are they going to have leading up to it? How is Trey Lance going to perform in that? And let's say Trey Lance has an okay game. Is that going to hurt his draft stock based on this game against Central Arkansas? If he comes out, has an electric game, looks fantastic, is that going to make his draft stock that much better? I'm not exactly sure, but it is great that we're going to be able to see Trey Lance play one game this upcoming fall, again, should he not play in the spring. But yeah, guys, that wraps up this bit of news. What was your biggest takeaway from the video? What is your thought on the preseason All-Americans? What's your thought on the College Football Playoff Committee announcing they're going to be doing rankings? What's your thought on College Game Day? And what's your thought on this whole thing with Trey Lance? Drop a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Make sure to give this video a like, that way it helps the video out and it helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, make sure to smash that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. Lots of great college football content coming over the coming weeks and months, so if you're a college football fan, this is definitely the place for you. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in my next video.